How important is an open border with Mexico and, frankly, a trade deal with China to Walmart's business?
Yeah, we certainly hope these things get resolved or don't happen. In the case of Mexico, the flow of fresh food in particular comes to mind, and in-stock levels. So it's really important. I heard Jimmy Fallon joking this week about avocado out of stocks, and we don't want to see any of that happening. Everybody needs their guacamole. And China seems to be headed the right direction based on the news this week, but as you know, it's been pretty volatile.
And speaking of food, Amazon is getting aggressive with its Whole Food stores, lowering prices, potentially opening a new supermarket chain. Can Walmart continue to win the price war in grocery? It's 56% of your sales. It's a very important part of your business.
Yeah, grocery is really important to us, but price competition's not new to us. And I think, what we've been doing these last few years to drive our productivity loop, to make sure we're managing our expenses, increase our units per labor hour, that kind of focus helps us be able to continue to lower prices as we have been these last few years.
And what about the health of the U.S. consumer? In December, when you joined us, you said the consumer's in pretty good shape, but we hear the concerns that get discussed on CNBC every day, things like slowing global growth or potential worries about economic data points. What are you seeing?
Net, I think the customer's still in pretty much the same place they were in the fourth quarter. During the first quarter, you experienced the flow of tax rebate checks, a different Easter timing, and other things as a retailer that create some volatility in the numbers. So we won't release the first quarter for a while now, but generally speaking, the customer's in good shape.
When it comes to sales growth, Walmart had for the U.S. comps last year the best year in a decade. This year, you're looking for more growth, but at a slower rate than what you saw last year. What's going to be the key sales driver and frankly, the biggest risk to that growth? Is it the U.S. economy?
I think in the case of stores, the job that the team has done to improve our store experience and reduce prices has created customer traffic and some really positive momentum there. And the team just continues to execute. I got into a store here this morning and just so encouraged by how our teams are feeling and the work they're doing in stores. And then on the e-commerce side, we were pleased to grow with the 40% target that we had last year, had a stronger fourth quarter at 43. And as we forecasted this year, that number is coming down some, but it'll still be a high rate of growth, and that's great to see. The magic for us is in how we bring the two together. And I was just speaking with this group that's here, including a bunch of University of Arizona students, which were fun to talk with about digital transformation and the change that we're going through in the way that we work and how we put our assets to work, which really results in an omni-channel experience that's seamless for customers. And I think that's our advantage. So that's what we're working on. And as long as we continue to execute against our plan, I think you'll continue to see strong growth from all parts of our business.
And speaking of digital, obviously very important part of the growth, but still a small part of the overall sales. And you've talked about how online sales doubled in the last 2 years, or nearly so. So you've gained some share, but it comes at a cost. Losses are going to be higher this year for digital than they were last year. How do you change that, and when could that possibly happen?
Well, you saw our fourth quarter results. I think there's some things underneath those numbers that are encouraging. And one of the great things about Walmart is we've got all these levers that we can pull in multiple countries and multiple businesses. And to build an e-commerce business takes some time, and it does take some investment. But we're committed to that, making progress against that plan. And store productivity is continuing to improve. And some of the things we're doing with automation in store and the way our folks are learning how to work in different ways causes me to believe that we can make all these pieces come together and work.